Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Town of Auburn Planning Board meeting of Tuesday, September 11th, 2018, now called to order at approximately 7 p.m. This meeting is being recorded and broadcasted live by Local Access Programming. Is there anyone here in the audience tonight that is recording tonight's meeting? There's no one in the audience, so that's answered. At this time, I'd like to, there being none, please rise and join us in a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we get started tonight, I respectfully request for all of us to hold a moment of silence for all those affected by the tragic events of September 11th, 2001, which occurred 17 years ago. Thank you all. The first item on our agenda this evening is a 7 o'clock public hearing. The applicant is First Worcester Pentecostal Church, request for site plan approval to operate a church within an existing church facility under section 3.2.3.3 of the Auburn zoning bylaws on property located at 188 Oxford Street North. There's a request that this be continued to September 25th meeting.
Make a motion to continue to September 25th.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote. Next applicant is a 705 Masad Family LLC, a request for a site plan approval under section 6.7 of the Auburn zoning bylaws for the expansion of a dealership parking lot and vehicle storage on property located at 24, 28, and 30 Faith Ave. There's been a request by the applicant to continue this to September 25th, 2018. Do we have a motion?
Make that motion to continue?
A second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have a 7:06 p.m. applicant. It is Masad Family LLC, requesting modification of site plan approval under section 9.4.1 of the Auburn zoning bylaws for parking, landscaping, and site layout reconfiguration on property located at 54 Faith Ave. There's been a request by the applicant to continue this public hearing to October 9th meeting. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to continue to October 9th.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote. Next we have signatures, 71 Curtis Street, the 2015 rescission. Matt, would you like to just go over that
Sure.
for everybody?
So this was our public hearing that we brought to bring the applicant in originally in November of 2017. This was to request to rescind the original 2015 subdivision plan. Gave the applicant the opportunity to reapply, which he had done. We also had a approval granted and signed at our last meeting on August 14th. So that being done, our next step is to rescind the 2015 plan so there is no confusion going forward in our records. The vote that was taken at our last meeting was 3-0 to 2. So the three members signing this would be Mr. Brooks, Ms. Steinhilber, and Mr. Wren. And I circulated this afternoon, having just recently finished it Unless anyone saw any errors, it's ready for signature. This also needs to be notarized, so we require a notary. So before doing that, I just need a motion to sign.
Is there any questions by anyone? Nick? Scott? John? Wendy? Me? No.
So I make a motion to accept
I just do a rescind.
To
rescind.
The 2015.
the 2015 rescission.
All those in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote.
You should have 2 abstain.
3 in favor, 2 abstain. Yeah, because Nick couldn't vote and Scott.
And John.
No,
John.
John.
So before you guys sign, this does need to be notarized. You have to have them raise their hand and all that stuff.
Really?
No.
I don't know how to do that.
Okay. So as you just say, raise your right hand and they do the little speech. I think it's, you solemnly swear to that you understand you know what you're signing and you do something of your own free will. We get to do it though. I don't have my
We
notary.
only
I don't
do
have my
this
notary.
once?
I don't have my notary with me today, so
Isn't- We don't do this each time.
we have to do it for this and we have to do it for the covenant.
We don't do it for all of these that we do.
So,
It's my free act indeed.
yeah. and then you
Okay.
do so what you're
My
on.
free act indeed.
Fabulous.
Perfect. That works too.
Thank you.
Is that good?
Scott knows other ways.
Yeah, I'm also until 2021.
I have to say that too.
It's just you and Scott.
I have to say that in my free act.
Yes.
It's my free act indeed to sign this.
You don't have to date it. Put that on there.
Thank you.
Next is 54 Faith Ave, the covenant and plan endorsement. Matt?
Okay, so this subdivision was approved by the board. Certificate was stamped on November 7th, 2017. In order for the plan to become active and for them to begin work, a covenant needed to be submitted to us, reviewed by town council, and eventually to this board. It has been reviewed by town council, no issues here. One thing the board still needs to do is decide on a term for which the work can be completed. So what we typically do is, we can't really exceed 3 years. We've done 5 in the past, but that's for subdivisions with houses. A lot more work than this. What I would recommend to the board this evening is for a December 31st, 2020 completion of this roadway. This way, if there's any issues
That's
next
about a
year...
year and a half.
Yeah, that gives them 2 years anyway, so this way if there's any issues, they still have that safety net. This is the Faith Ave realignment, just for the roadway, so they can reconstruct the road and do...
Yeah, I like that we limit it to that.
It gives them a chance, because I think they're trying to do some of the work this, right now, this fall, and then it has to set for a winter, and then they can address any issues over the next spring. And if there's any problems, it would have to sit for another winter. That gives them that safety net. So,
We get the 2 winters and
right.
it doesn't give us this long, lengthy
Yeah.
time for them to not
Right.
perform.
Right.
I would imagine they would.
If for some reason they aren't able to get done what they want to this winter, they would still have next winter in order to be able to do it. So,
What's the M&T Bank, the easement to the town of Auburn?
that is on one of these other plans.
Is it on the corner
No, it's,
where it goes
I'll
off
show you.
down towards the that swampy wet area
make sure I got the right one.
where the power lines are and stuff?
This is the different easement. What this was for the drainage. And the easement runs here.
Oh, okay.
Where does it go to, Matt?
This is the new roadway. Washington Street's over here.
Yeah.
Faith Ave loops around the donut that way.
And where's the drainage going to?
It goes into the wetland area, the replication
there?
area that they did on that side that flows.
Where does it go from that detention pond. Is that a detention pond? 'Cause
Yeah.
down in that corner of Faith Ave, there's some wet
That's
spots.
all
I
part
think.
of Graves' comments.
Yeah. This was vetted at the Conservation Commission for their order conditions in 2017.
I was gonna say, that would
2016, I think. But they were working on that for several years to come up with that solution, so this
And
just
down in
makes
that
it
corner,
easier.
there was some electrical utilities?
Yeah, so that
That's the
reads,
DOT
this is the future access utility easement for drainage, so they're considering the entire section of roadway as that at this time until the land is transferred where, and then it could become more official later. So this is exactly how it was approved by the board in November of last year. So we have two things to sign after the covenant is the easement plan, Mylar, and then the lotting plan, which is just the lots, and I'll show you that.
Has this been approved by the state yet?
I don't think the state has to approve what we're doing.
This isn't the one we're waiting for to have the approval.
No, that's not that.
From the state.
No, this is just the layout because these are town roads.
Okay, because it's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
The section of Faith Ave that goes from where the new turn is
Mm-hmm.
to the old corner, is
Right.
that staying paved?
All this?
No, the other
No,
one.
Right,
that-
that's
down the
straight
bottom.
down the bottom.
Right where your finger is
Yeah.
mapped down to the
straight
corner
down to the
that way.
corner.
Yeah, they have to maintain, that has to stay clear for the state with the easement. They know
Paved.
that. But that's still our property now. So that's not affected by this. This doesn't transfer this
It's
parcel
now
to
our
them.
property, but and when it's transferred, isn't it going to them and we have an easement?
That's when there would be a new A&R and transfer. So,
If the state approves that.
correct. And that would turn that away from a
So-
public way and into an easement.
Judging by what I've seen out there already, what's going to prevent him from start putting that road in already?
This.
Right into the existing road?
He needs this covenant and this endorsement in order to start this work. But, so he can get a road opening permit if he does, but the thing that would stop him from doing that is he needs that permit from the engineer, from Bill.
He also needs another permit.
Needs a few.
Yeah, for another peer review.
There isn't much that stops it.
Yeah.
Ultimately, he needs to at least start this before he can do anything else anyways, and the covenant keeps him from doing any other work other than the new roadway. After which, once he gets the two binder course, he'll have to post a bond for the remaining work, and then our site plan approval will govern the completion of the rest of the project, and then he can release, and then he'll do the top course, and then he can release the bond at that time.
If he takes the new road into Faith Ave, when you want a bond now,
That's
Yes,
the covenant.
yes, the covenant is the performance guarantee to keep him from doing everything else. So,
I know what he's gonna do. I know exactly what he's gonna do. He's gonna go from right here, and he's gonna go right in and tie right into this road right here with reckless abandon. So this road is still a town road. So he needs a bond to open this road.
he needs a, yeah, at least a permit, and,
But when you get a road opening permit, you have to put a bond up.
yeah, he'd do that with the town engineer, it wouldn't be with us.
Just wanna make sure we're covered. Same on the other end.
Where it starts.
Yeah, both ends of that. He's gonna go right into the road with no care in the world about traffic, anything else.
So the town engineer's been, he's very much on top of this too. I've been communicating with him regularly. So,
I wanna make sure everybody's covered.
yeah, we even had conversations with town council before we even brought this to you guys.
Okay.
So that's what's before us today. anyways. The covenant will be first, and then the endorsement. So if any of us can vote, even though Nick wasn't a member at that time, or if members were absent, this is for a covenant. Make sure it's a legal document and endorsing of a plan that's consistent with what was approved previously.
One motion for both,
Nope, two separate
two
motions.
separate motions. You have a motion to endorse the covenant?
I'll make that motion.
Do you want to set an expiration in the motion?
Would it just say
December
December
2020?
31st, 2020?
Yes.
December 31, 2020.
Do I have a second?
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstained?
All in favor.
Yep.
Okay. Just right, December 31st, 2020. The signature's on the next page. Take that one. I apologize. Can you guys do the acting of your own? Do the reaction? He's on the side.
I agree.
I think I'm with Mike.
I think I'm my own.
Sam.
There's no duress.
This one here. This
Yeah, just a copy.
Now do we need a motion for the plan endorsement?
Yes. There'd be a motion to endorse the lotting plan and the easement plan for the Faith Avenue realignment of definitive subdivision.
You said lotting and easement.
Yep. If you guys want, I'll just make the motion, someone could say so moved.
Is,
Still the motion.
before we get to that,
Sure.
does he have the Faith Ave numbers right?
For lots?
Yep, because that was wrong on the peer review as well.
What do you mean? Like for the house or the buildings?
Yeah, when he was doing the layout of this on the other construction plan, he had these numbers transposed. He also called 126 according to the peer review.
Oh, right. Yeah, and he had one of them labeled as 51. No, they are correct now. It's
Okay.
54 and 30.
All right,
So
I want to make sure.
we'd be looking for a motion as to endorse the lotting plan and the easement plan for the Faith Avenue realignment definitive subdivision plans.
Do we have that motion?
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There's a vote.
So there's a lot here. What's this? Loading plans. Okay. So,
They're all working.
that is the easement plan. Easement plan, so do you guys want to go from the bottom up on those? From that side? I'll give you these ones too. I'll send the Mylar around this way.
Jordan.
Stuck in the middle there.
Yeah, either way, you're signing the third line, so you're good.
I'll put the cap on
Yeah,
it.
the oldest.
Okay. Up here, Matt.
Yep. You don't have to do any of this stuff with those. Just have minutes. Washington Street and right
Yeah, there's only one.
here. That's it.
Can you ever get that on that one, right? I don't know.
Matt, this is a Mylar too, right?
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Oh, there's a second marker.
No date on the CD, you'll date them?
Yes. I'll do that. Cool. Yeah. Run it too close to class.
There you go, one here for you.
All right.
Okay.
Classmates. Can't find it now. No, not at all. It's a matter of where. Thank you, sir. Sorry.
Matt, you do the dates on these two, right?
Yep.
You all set with those, Matt?
Yes, thank you.
The next thing is associate member vacancy. We're still looking for an associate member. We need to set the October meeting schedule. What do you suggest, Matt?
So, town meeting falls on our fourth Tuesday. Falls on our meeting on the 23rd. Depending on the agenda, we still have a meeting on October 9th. I would recommend, if possible, depending on when Halloween is going to be by the town, if they do it on Halloween or not, holding our meeting on October 30th, because that still gives us 2 weeks before the first meeting in November,
So, October 9th,
and the 30th.
what day, those are Tuesdays.
Yes. The town meeting's on the 23rd.
When will we know when the town's gonna have Halloween?
Yeah.
Hopefully before October 9th.
Thanks, Matt.
It's an honest answer.
It is.
Do we have to have a motion to set those dates?
Not yet. Just want to check.
Everybody
folks'
okay with that?
Availability for now.
So long as Halloween's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Any additional content?
I do. So we have our project at 314 Washington Street, which is Impact Fitness. That's been to us on 3 separate occasions. As run into a situation with emergency vehicle access at one of its entrances. And this is Route 20, Millbury Street. It's the intersection where you go up the hill towards Farmer's Daughter.
Yep.
And the Shell gas station's over here. So they had one egress on this side. It's a sloped driveway. It goes down a little hill to a parking area. And they have an island here, which is concrete. So it's a concrete island with sloped granite edging. The purpose of this was to keep
Directional.
vehicles from taking a left off of Millbury Street into the site. Problem is that emergency fire vehicles coming from this direction can't get in here with that island here. And they can't go over it with sloped granite edging because they're going to blow $700 tires.
How
So-
wide is that?
It doesn't
It's like-
look like it was that long anyways, that
It's like
island.
12 or 14 feet wide. But the corner, they'd have to go over it. So what they're proposing is to just make that striped with arrows as shown. They'll put signs up for no left turn into the business on this side of the street. So the question is, and they've been here 3 times for modifications of different varieties. Does the board consider this to be modification that requires the applicant to come back for another meeting? Or would the board be amenable to making this emergency vehicle access friendly at the request of the fire department?
My question is, the sign that goes up that says no left turn,
Mhm.
is that in the state right away? Because part of Washington Street is state-owned.
That's a good question. I think it's on the town part because that's, 100 feet out? And wherever they put the sign, this is a recommendation from Bill and Joanna for the location of the sign. I thought it might be better over here because folks that are turning in aren't going to look over here, they're going to be looking over here. But Bill and Joanna, this was relayed to me from Caleb, our building commissioner, so they would prefer if it's on this location. So if they prefer it there, then I would assume they may have vetted that already. I would hope.
What's wrong with one on each side?
Yeah, I'd be fine with that recommendation also.
I would recommend one on each side.
I agree.
Agreed.
So, as we know with CVS, people are going to turn in wherever they want.
I can't believe I see people do that.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
No,
unbelievable.
So you can only,
and CVS put up that big sign.
yeah,
And you know when you're coming out of Southbridge Street now, there's a tree that's grown so high that you can't see the new sign that they put up, so that we're directing people to that.
mm,
It's like, cut it down about 3 feet so you
Yeah.
can see the sign.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's cut the signs.
They
No,
don't
cut
pay
the
attention to the
trees.
signs
Yeah.
in the auto parts place either, all right?
No, they don't. I was right behind a woman that turned right in.
Yeah, there's
Off of
only so
Waterman.
much we
Yeah.
can do. It's,
Well, there was a stipulation in the approval on that they were supposed to police that, and they haven't done a very good job.
it's,
Who was supposed to police it?
O'Reilly.
O'Reilly.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, they're bringing in business, they're not gonna scare
Yeah.
people off, you know?
Yeah.
So
You're
it's
gonna-
the problem.
I drive around.
Does anyone drive 30 miles an hour through every zone in town? It's the only control some drivers from doing so much. We all do, yes. 28
Yeah,
after
most
the
we
most.
do.
It's 28 sometimes.
35 on Oxford Street heading toward the police station.
Yeah. So,
Semi cruise control.
yeah. So we can't govern people from breaking the law, but the signs on both sides might help. But I'm fine with the recommendation of DPW, put it on one side, but if the board sees it, you might want them on
You can
both.
talk to Bill and say we'd like to
See it on both
suggest
sides.
it.
Yeah, the big question for us is, does this warrant another application
I don't
from
think
this?
so.
No, I don't see,
It's not
I don't see that at all.
No.
Have they got the island in already?
They do, they'd have to take it out.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's like burning money.
In granite curving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not cheap.
Hopefully they can repurpose it somewhere else. But, so we'd be looking for a motion, something effective. This is not a this is a minor modification, does not require a modification to site plan approval.
I'll make
No.
that so moved.
Have a
Second.
second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Let's vote.
Would you like me to put in a request for additional signage in both
Yes.
locations?
Yes.
Please.
Is that a motion also?
Yes.
Do you have a second to Wendy's motion?
Second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good vote. And now, the moment we've been waiting for, the minutes of August 14th, 2018.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of August 8/14, 2018 as amended.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Good vote. Next meeting is September 25th, 2018. Nick, Scott, John, Wendy, anything else?
No.
Matt,
No, sir.
Dick,
Good evening.
nothing else? We have a motion for
Motion to
adjournment?
adjourn?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.